Inefficiency. YouTube is thy name. What's up, guys? So sorry. Been dealing with a little bit of technical difficulties here. Thank you guys so much for showing up. 1 second. We are going to fire up the phone lines here. We're going to do it old school style. We are trying to run all the things through Google Hangouts, but YouTube has just not gotten their shit together. So, give me 1 second. I'm going to create this whole thingamabob. Everything's queued up, all ready to go. We're just going to have Rollo call in. So, I'm going to fire up the phone lines for you, Rollo. I know you're listening right now. And we're going to do a breakdown too. We've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 clips or so to break down here. It is going to be friggin' awesome. For you guys that don't know, the Body Language Mastery guys got the first dibs at this. I have been going and toying with this dating show on Twitch. The name of the show is it's Gone Doc, and it's a prequel or a pre-show to the Raj Royale show, which is like one of the largest Twitch shows on Twitch. Usually gets around 20 to 30,000 live viewers. That is a fucking NFL football game. That is like a fully sold out UFC event. So it's a lot of viewers, and I'm trying not to get on that show.
Welcome to Blog Talk Radio. Please enter your host PIN. When finished, press the pound key.
To start your show now, press 1. To hear important instructions, press 2.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3,
All right.
2, 1.
All right. Let's get this party started, eh?
Radio.
Hey? Yeah, guys, welcome to the show. Welcome. So yeah, today we're just gonna do some in-field breakdown of like me, just like completely unscripted, just handling these women. I actually just kind of went on this show just to like kind of test around the market, if you will, just kind of test around, like see if Twitch was viable. And if it was like, a good thing to watch and a good thing to get involved in, and the feedback has been insane. And so let me tweet out this link. And then Rollo, if you're watching right now, call in, brother. 657-383-1318. Rollo, that is your call there, brother. Call on in. I'm gonna put out the tweet. If you guys follow me on Twitter, go out and retweet this link as well. Live now on YouTube, Rational Mail, doing break on a dating show on Twitch. Come check us out. Yeah, okay. The link is out, and guys, chat, all you guys, thank you so much for putting up with this, basically. Here, I just tweeted it out. If you guys follow me on Twitter, right here, I just put it out live now with Rational Mail, doing a breakdown of me on a dating show Twitch. Come check us out. Yeah, I just thought I could screen share and run the whole setup gig through Google Hangouts, but apparently that is not the case. That is not the case. Let me text. Rollo, we're ready. Rollo, I am ready. Let me get him in here. Yeah, so for you guys that don't know, for you guys that are not in the Body Language Mastery group as well, it is, it has just been wild and crazy. I see the guys in the chat already. Ho's mad, Joe's mad. So Joe, okay, let me just break this down for you, what you're going to see today. So there's a show, right? There's a show on Twitch, and it's a dating show. And Peter, you're the fucking man for retweeting me. Thank you so much. There's a show on Twitch, and it's like a dating show. And 657-383-1318. It's a dating show, and they have all these guys come on there and like compete for the girls, and like most of the guys are just hella cringe, right? They're hella blue pill cringe. They're just like, oh, I think you're a wonderful lady, and bah, 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 bah. Just like saying shit they don't believe that they think is like the right thing to say in order to get the girl to like them. And I literally come in there and like just I'm 100% my crazy alpha male self. And it's just hilarious. I literally come in there. I tell these girls. I told one girl she slept around with way more dudes than she claimed. I just did everything. I broke every rule in the book, and you can just see the females' reactions. It is truly a combination of everything. And I figured that having Rollo in, having him call in, and being participating in this would really just be insanity. Like it would just be it would be great. And I think that might be him there. Rollo, is that you, boss?
Yes, it is. Can you hear me okay?
Yes. Guys in the chat, can you hear him okay? We're gonna have to do it old school style, Bluetooth, holding the Bluetooth. So yeah, I got you here live.
Yeah.
So I guess, are you watching me as well on the YouTube?
No, not yet.
Yeah.
Should I be? I guess I should be. Hold on.
Yeah, watching me so you can watch the clips that I'm going to be putting up. And thank you so much for doing this. Shout out to you for rocking
Sure.
the 407 number. I like that. Rocking the Orlando.
Yeah.
How are things going? It's early where you are, right? It's like, is it 6:30 in the morning over there?
Yeah, it's 6:25 right now. Hang on, let me. Where the hell did I put this? Oh, wait a minute. I retweeted your thing.
It's a different one. I put out a new one. Here, I'll throw it in the I'll throw it in the group chat.
Yeah, I think I'm looking at the old one.
Yeah, I'll throw it in the group chat. Just check the group chat. I know your DMs are probably slammed, but
Okay.
you can also retweet that one so everybody can follow that one. And for the rest of you guys, go to my
Yeah, I will.
for the rest of you guys, go out to right there, Modern Life John at Modern Life John JON, and then just click retweet. Got two people, Jimmy and Peter, have retweeted it. And then yeah, we're gonna get this bad boy statted. But yeah, what a crazy thing.
I think this is the new one.
And you watched it live too, right? You saw some of the stuff?
I watched a bit of it, just out of like morbid curiosity.
I'm sorry for the IQ points you lost.
Yeah. Hold on a second.
No worries. Take your time.
There we go. Okay, now I got it.
Okay, cool.
There's a little bit of a delay, so.
Okay, no problem. So I'll just play these clips one by one. I'll kind of give you a little precursor. Well, I was on 3 times, but I think you saw the one that I was on like right after Rule 0, if I'm correct, right? That was the only one?
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about. I've never even seen this show before. This is actually a pretty great idea. Now, is this like something that Twitch is doing? Like, did they set this up, or is this somebody's channel it's almost like Celebrity Deathmatch or something, right? I mean, it's like, is it? Now,
I got a
explain to
question.
me, is this just supposed to be about like chatting up a girl, or is this for other things?
So no, this is just like this is just basically another YouTube. It's a YouTube.
Yeah. I know that. I know what Twitch is. I'm just saying, like, the show itself. Does it center on like 4 guys trying to get on one girl or something like that, or is it just like whatever you guys say, what keeps you on or gets you booted off? I'm not sure how the mechanics of it work.
So this is like a pre-show to another show that is like one of the largest shows on Twitch that has like 20,000 to 30,000 live viewers, and that one's a little bit more structured when it's like an elimination chamber kind of thing. Like the one that I'm trying to get on is called the Rajler, and it's like you and like 16 different girls competing for your attention. But you can also do it the other way around, where it's 16 guys, and then the girl has to like slowly but surely eliminate you all. So I went on there, and I just think a lot of the guys thought that what they saw was absolutely they just all the body language mastery guys in the private webinars were just saying that like, hey, this is absolutely insane, and you need to like do breakdowns of this. So I figured who other to get than you, Godfather Manosphere.
Sure.
So here's where I just like, this is just a random one when I just start stirring up the pot. Let's take a look at the first one, okay? Tell me what you think. Tell me if you can see what I do here. I know there's a little bit of delay for you.
All right, don't. Yeah, I was gonna say there's probably about I think it's like a 6 or a 10-second delay. So.
Okay, so I'll just play it, and then when I stop it, I'll let you know, and just tell me what you think. Here's the first one. You can see the screen.
All right.
Okay, here we go.
I'm sweating. What the actual fuck is going on today?
Quincy, how old are you?
25.
Well, you look good. You're clearly the hottest girl here.
Would you stop?
I love it.
Let's hear it.
I love it. Clearly the hottest girl here.
Guess what? You're the hottest guy here.
That's just so rude, though.
No, it's not. It's not. It's like saying, oh, because I like certain pizza, that I'm a bad person. No, she just.
But you're talking about people. You're not talking about it.
That's actually true.
No, Jules is right. She actually has a job in her brain, so.
That's so fucking rude. Either way.
Why are you so insecure?
You're assuming stuff. No, you're assuming stuff about me without even knowing.
Why? Listen, I'll. Okay. All right. That's the first part of it. What do you think about that little clip?
Okay, hold on. I'm still watching it. Hold on. Oh my God. Okay, now I saw that. Okay, so I finally saw it. So whatever that delay is, that's how long it took to do it. So basically, you asked the blonde girl like how old she was, and then they sort of lost their shit on you just for asking her how old she was.
No, then I also said you're clearly the prettiest girl here.
Oh yeah, exactly. And so well, you know what's funny is like it's interesting to see like how they take offense to that.
Yeah.
And okay, yeah, and you're correct too, because I'm looking at like there's 5 girls. The one that you're chatting to is the blonde girl, right?
Yeah.
She's the one who said she was 25. Yeah. Okay. And then I'm looking at these other girls, and it's like, yeah, of course they are, and they know this too.
Yeah.
It's just that they want to throw out this idea that like you should be interested in
I'll come to
them.
Orlando.
Okay. First off, this is a very common. It's a social dynamic amongst
I'll be
women.
there.
You're giving backhanded compliments.
Of these 5 girls that are on here, they know she's the hottest one, and so they kind of have to fall down. I mean, the one that's right above you, she's okay, but the rest of them forget it. They don't even come into the same like league as this girl, and she knows it too. That's why her hair's down where it's at. That's why her makeup is perfect. I think the one that's right above you tried to.
Quincy,
she put in a little bit of effort, but like the rest of them didn't put any effort at all. And these are the girls that like think that I should be attractive because of what I'm saying or who I am, rather than what I am. And they don't understand like when you're meeting somebody, when you first meet somebody for the first time, it's all based on looks. It's all based on appearance. It's all based on outward presentation of you. And particularly in this format, I take it that you've never met or you've never had any like prior knowledge to any of these people. I know I've seen these 2 guys on here before. I don't know who the guy is on the far middle right is, but I've seen the bald-headed guy at the lower middle right, and then that kind of I think the guy's from the UK that's like 2 steps above you, but like I don't think you have any prior knowledge about the backgrounds of any of these other girls right here, and so you're throwing out the fact that like she's the hottest. She probably takes that. You notice she doesn't protest.
Yeah.
She doesn't say, hey, that's rude. She's not the one saying that's rude. She's like, because she took it as a compliment. But all the other girls realize that she is their intra-sexual competition. And so they have to throw out these caveats. So they want to make you the bad guy for basing everything on looks, but yet the unspoken dynamic between all of the. I'm surprised that there's actually more girls than there are guys on this. But they throw that out there because they sort of fall back on the sisterhood. But the girl who's the blonde, she doesn't fight them, and she doesn't fight you.
No, she sits
because
back
she's
and
happy to be.
She takes it.
Top of the order.
She knows it. She knows it too. And girls are super competitive. Like, you have this very articulate way of putting things. I just have like the real life experience that I could just know, one, that girls pretty much hate each other. And then two, they all know that she's the prettiest. They're just really mad that a man came in there and said it.
And confirmed it for them. You're just confirming for them what they already know. But then they want to say that that's rude. She didn't say it was rude. The girl you were complimenting didn't think it was rude. They thought it was rude.
Yeah, exactly.
So, what's funny about this whole thing is, like, if you look at if you were at a party and there was these four girls, because that's basically what this is. It's a party. Like, this one chick's drinking while she's hanging out with you here. If it was like you four guys and those four girls, and that blonde girl walked into the party, those four girls would be the first ones to say, "Oh, I can't believe she wore that. Oh gosh, did you see that dirty look that bitch just gave me?" That's what you would see from these girls, because they understand intrasexual competition. They see her as the intrasexual competition in this.
I love it. It's so true. Let's go to another clip here. Okay, so I'm gonna play this one. Obviously, it's a little bit of a delay, but
Makes sense, man. Much fucking love.
Oops, one second here. I'm gonna play this one. Watch it on your end, and this is me. They ask the age-old question: who lies more, women or men? And I think you're going to like what I have to say here. Check it out. I'm going to play it right now.
Makes sense, man. Much fucking love. He says, who lies more, men or women, and why? Huh.
Women.
Women. It's not a gender thing. It's not gender.
Yes, it is. Women.
Wait. I'm speaking truth. I would say that guys lie more, 100%.
Women they lie more because they wear makeup.
That doesn't count.
No,
yeah, that's lying. Everyone knows that.
Well, you lie because you wear clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got.
Well, it's acceptable to walk around naked? Is that what you're saying? Everybody should just walk around naked?
I wish we could, and it was acceptable.
The guy that said makeup is the one hiding his face with shades, so I'm thinking.
Oh wow, dude, that's true. That is very true.
Women lie more.
I think just scumbags in general lie more.
Men have beards and mustaches.
100% lie more.
It depends.
Makeup
because I feel
really...
Well,
one at a time.
They're normal.
Go ahead,
natural.
penguin. I want penguin. Penguin, get in.
Stop.
Makes sense.
All right, so there's that one. Go ahead and dissect that train wreck.
Hold on, wait. Oh, I'm still getting the last part of it. Hang on.
Okay.
Oh man, my IQ just dropped like 12 points. Okay, so now I finally saw it. Okay, and I'm sorry, I have to mute these every time because I don't want to play catch up here. So
okay,
what I'm seeing from these girls is okay when you say that, when you challenge them, like you're the most engaging person on this whole video. At least you're carrying the conversation. So everybody's focusing on you. That's the first thing you gotta throw into the mix here. You're dominating the conversation, and those guys know that you're dominating the conversation because you have game. A lot of those guys don't have game. There's that one dude at the bottom there who has that good look to him, like he's got that surfer boy look to him that like the girls like. Okay?
They call him Chad.
Remember, these are. I mean, how old? What is it really? Yeah. I was gonna say, how old? What do you think the average age of the people on this show are right now? Because you seem like the old dude in the room compared to the rest of the.
I am. Like
I don't know. I would say that they're their 20s.
They're 20s, and I think I'm the only guy in his 30s. The second oldest guy is the bald guy called Joe, and he actually white knights hard, and I have 3 clips of him white knighting, and also trying to bring me down in the frame, and I'm gonna play that later. But he's 29. The rest of them age from like 21 to like 25, I think. That's it.
Now, these aren't live video, right? I mean, this is like you recorded these because that other one was just there was fewer people. What's the maximum number of people you can put on the show?
I think it's 12 is the maximum allowable.
12.
Yeah.
Okay. Boy, that's interesting because this is almost like this is something that hasn't existed before. In that you can actually, I mean, if you really wanted to, this could be like sort of a test for guys to see how solid their game is when it comes to just like spitting game, because this isn't really so much like, you know, you go into a club and I mean, there's a lot of other variables that go on when you're doing like, you know, club game or you're doing like day game or whatever. Mm-hmm. When you're doing day game, it's just like you and the girl on the street or something. And so that there's not that socialized element, but like when you're in a chat, when you're in a room like this is where you have to, this is a really good test, I think, for game. I think for guys who can dominate a social situation, and you're just only relying on your wits.
Oh yeah.
Right. I mean, you got to show, you got to have some sort of look. But even like notice that like the guy who is the good-looking kid down at the bottom there, he is not as socially dominant as you are in this whole thing because you already know what to say. So what's he going to say? All those other guys are going to agree, oh, yeah, guys lie more. And you notice what their first default answer is. They want to agree with it. They want to say, oh, yeah, guys lie more. And they want to sort of identify with the woman. And that's what I see going on here is all the guys are identifiers, and you're not. You're the guy that pushes back. You're the one that says, no, women are the ones that lie the most. And then you throw out a bunch of reasons, and even if they try to come back at you and try to make you look bad, you're still the one that they're getting the rise from. Nobody else in this situation is giving them the rise that they want because they're going along with it.
Yeah.
You can't, like, this is a really good, like, remember how, like, in, I think it's in either a Real Social Dynamics or actually it's just in basic game. The premise is that you need to leave a woman with an emotional response. Right. You need to leave her with an association of you that makes an emotional impact. That's what you're trying to leave here. And this is what you're doing because you're going against that. And it's like all the rest of these guys don't realize that. They think that they have to go along to get along. They believe that they have to identify with the feminine and identify with these girls so that they can either stay on the show, because you get voted off of the show, right? Somebody can like put down $50 and boot you off, right? Is that how it works?
So actually there's you get to stay on the show if you're entertaining, but if somebody really hates you, they pay $50 to throw you off. And I got thrown off the show 3 times. But in addition to that, one time you could pay $25 to bring somebody back. One time I paid $25 to bring myself back just to be like, hey, fuck everybody in here. Like, I'm going to still do whatever I do, and money doesn't mean anything to me. And another time I donated $75 because this girl came in. So I just wanted to be on there. So I paid $50 to throw her out and then $25 to bring myself back in. And then the girl's just like, oh, what do you think? You could just pay money to do whatever you want? And I was just like, yeah, I do. And welcome back. I was like, the king has returned, baby. Let me show you a couple more clips.
Yeah. Well, no, I was gonna say, let me just finish real quick.
Sure.
Is that this is a really good illustration of what happens, or what's meant by leaving an emotional impact. Because here you have all the rest of these guys going along because they're identifiers. These guys believe in beta game, or at least from what I can tell.
Right.
Most of these guys are siding with the woman because they believe that if they identify with the feminine and they identify with women, that they believe that like attracts like, and that's not true. Because when you go in there and you throw out, you go against that when everybody else is going with that, you're the one that stands out and you're the one that makes that emotional impact. And remember, it doesn't matter if it is a positive or if it's a negative emotional association, just that you made the impact is all that matters.
Yeah, I call it spiking their emotions. You know, if you could just get that emotional rise out of them.
Good idea, yeah.
It's like cocaine for them. They just need more and more and more. Okay, so I got a couple selections here. So I go 2 more on 2 more makeup tirades. Do you want to see me watch? Do you want to see me play those, or do you want to skip to when I? There's a 3-part sequence where I think you saw it when I was gaming the young girl with pink hair. What do you think? You want to watch the makeup, or you want to watch me gaming the girl?
Let's do the gaming the girl, because I think that's probably going to be what's most interesting to your audience.
Okay, so I'm gonna do.
and everybody's like, please, no more clips. I'm barfing already.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I understand, but you have to. This is how you learn, man. This is how you learn.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll play the first clip. So this is me. This is us. Like, okay. So here is This is me, and this is when the girl just comes in, and we are just interviewing her, but kind of this is like her introduction to me and then to this guy Joe, who is in the lower right hand corner. So, and then just so you know, the ages, top left is 22, she's 21, I'm 33, and Joe is 29. So let me play this clip for you right now. It's about, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Okay. So another question that they may ask you on the show is, what is your body count?
Now it's 4 with my ex. Yeah.
So times 3 is 12.
What? What the fuck do you mean times 3?
This is usually the buffer.
Mm-mm.
No?
I just like to remind everybody it's 50 to kick. HotDudeLife. I'm just
throw me out, baby.
Putting it out there. Okay. So
1K Andy.
Okay, wait. So Anna.
So that's the first one. That's the first of 3.
Oh wait, hold on a second.
Where's my?
Okay, so you just wanted to show me that part where she's just kind of flustered by you saying that her notch count is actually 12 rather than 4.
Well,
right?
I just want to let her know right off the bat. I don't
did
believe
I get the
her.
whole clip?
Well, no, I just wanted to, because I didn't even know we were going to come up to a competition, but I just said it just to be that asshole. You know what I mean? And then also just to have fun, because a lot of guys, they logically approach dating like, oh, I need to do this and I do need to do that. But really, it's not what you say. It's how you say it and how you make her feel. And I think she reacted pretty well. She was like, like laughing and stuff. You want to see then the next part here? Let me just do it. We'll run through the game session real quick. So then the next part, they tell me what I do if I saw her in a nightclub.
I was gonna say.
Go ahead.
Okay, hold off on that real quick, because I just wanted to just talk about this exchange really quick before we move on to the next part. You already, like I said, this is a really good test of game when it comes to just like your wits. Like, what are you going to throw out there? Like, what if you had? I mean, technically, you're probably never going to meet this girl in real life, but like, this is a really good. I would love to see like other. Like PUAs try to come into this situation and see how solid their game is.
Yeah.
Particularly guys from better known like RSD or like some of these other guys who promote themselves as PUAs. I would love to see them come into this environment, and not as to like not to put them on the spot or anything, just to sort of like analyze and pick apart like what it is that they're doing. Because if you look at the guys, like the kid that's right above you there who asks this, he's like really sheepish about the whole thing. He's like he almost doesn't want to ask the question that he's asking, and so he sort of says, what's your body count, like that kind of stuff, and it's almost too easy for you, because first of all you have the game knowledge, but then you also you're in a league that's like above both of these guys, and they know that they're completely out of their element with this. And I don't know if the goal is to actually talk this girl up, but even whether it is or it's not, like, you yourself have made the show about that. So the focus is on you. They're wondering what you're going to say. And so when you pipe in with, like, so multiply that by 3, and she giggles and she laughs a little bit, you're already in there, man. I mean, you're looking at that, and this is like, you see a little bit of physical response. You're not like coming on to her, and you're not like, you're not overtly trying to game her, but you're playing with her. And this is like, if you want to talk about amused mastery, this is a really good example of amused mastery. So when you hear something like that, when you hear what she says about, like, oh, well, I guess I'm up to 4 now, and she's like, tries to be all sheepish and everything, and then you come in and you're like, your answer is this: I've seen it all before, I've heard it all before. It's really 3 times that.
I love it.
She laughs and she giggles, and she giggles because she knows it's true. So this is actually a good demonstration of amused mastery. So I want to throw that out there before you go on.
Fuck yeah. Beam me up, Jesus. My life is fucking complete. I got fucking approval from the Godfather Manosphere. I'm good to go. All right, so there's another...
these are good illustrations. These are good illustrations of game techniques and what you can do with those. And then also remember, like, you are intrasexually competing with these guys. Now, whether or not they know that or they got into this because of that, they don't know. You're the one that comes in there and socially dominates both of these guys because you know the techniques.
Yeah, I just went on the show just to do it, and then some of the guys in my body language mastery course were egging me on, and then I said, do you feel, I just didn't even know, because sometimes, when you're so good at game, you don't realize how good you are. I know I sound extremely arrogant saying that, but it's kind of like, you internalize the matrix, like you said, like you see the code in the matrix, and
right.
you forget how plugged in people are. I want to play the next section where they say, like, here, I want you to game her, and here's why I actually game her. And I'm gonna cue that one up right now. And then I'll play the result. Okay, so here's the section. Okay.
You're at a club. Anna is there, and she's by herself. Her friends didn't show up. She's feeling lonely. She needs some company. She looks at you from across the room. She meets eyes with you. How do you approach? Go.
Like, hey, what's up? What are you doing here? You're all alone and nobody's talking to you.
Oh my god. I wouldn't know what to say. That's so weird to just be like, hey, you're all alone. No one's talking to you.
It's okay, I'm alone. People don't talk to me either. We could be alone together.
Oh my god. I'd hang out. If I was, if I was at a hangout.
Damn, you gave it up that quick? Alright, next, I won.
No. But we'd hang out. I don't know.
You ready?
Hold on. Okay, I saw it now. All right. Yeah, well, I mean, you what you're doing here is this is more amused mastery, because these guys, I was going to say this in the last segment on the last video, but you showed it here as well. You're using these guys as sort of your own springboard, I guess, for social proof. Because what do? Like, they completely, like, drop out of the conversation. They drop out of the they even get blacked out of the screen there, man. I mean, they're just basically giving her up to you right there. And so in doing so, that's well, first of all, it's social proof, but they're helping you. And I think a lot of guys don't understand this. I've written a couple of posts about this. I think a lot of guys don't really realize the utility that beta guys or blue pill guys really serve to a guy who has game and who has that sort of social dominance. And you don't have to AMOG them. Like, you're not AMOGing these guys.
Yeah.
They're doing it themselves. They're the ones who are just like they're like setting up the field goal for you. You know, like they're holding the ball for you, and you just go and all you got to do is kick it through the uprights, and that's what you're doing here. And so I don't think that a lot of guys, when it comes to game, when it comes to just strict, you know, PUA game, a lot of guys, they want to be everybody's friend, right? They still want to, like, in some way still be, like, on good terms with these guys. And they don't realize just how useful a guy is when he's already sort of been selected out. And then you understand that you're the one who's been selected in. So what they're doing is they're saying, like, well, if you met this girl in the club and you were alone and she was alone, what would you say to her? And you handle it pretty well. Like, you didn't even have to say all that much.
Yeah.
You just have to you know, turn on a little bit of charm and turn on a little bit of wit. She's already into you at some, you know, on some level of consciousness. She's already into you, because look at what you're running is you're kind of AMOGing these guys, but like not like they're AMOGing themselves. You don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
And so because of the attitude that they've taken, they will, most guys who are around you in your surroundings, unless there's another dude who knows game and another guy who's like sort of the alpha guy of the, like AMOG, that's what it means, alpha male of the group.
Yeah.
Unless there's a guy there who's directly competing with you for your target, most guys are beta. Most guys are blue pill. Most guys are accommodating, and most guys will understand when they're being outclassed, and so they'll be your wingman without even realizing that they're being your wingman.
Oh yeah.
But like she's already, you know, I can't really say too much about the girl herself because she's already like like does she know? Does everybody in this? Do they know how old everybody is? Does she know that you're 33?
I think
obviously you know she's 21, so you had to find out like how old they are.
She found out after, but I'm gonna show you. I want to show you. So I want to show you the result, and then I want to show you the guy on the show, his reaction in two different segments. And one of the guys in my body language mastery group said that like this is a prime example of keeping frames. So I want to show the guy's result just because it's hilarious. I'm going to play that. It's real quick. And then I want to play the other part where he tries to AMOG me, and I'll let you see it. But let me play this one right here. Check it out.
Dude life. Who would you choose to go on a date with, and why?
A hot dude because he seems into me and I vibe with that. I'm into guys who are into me. It's really, really important to show that.
Get used to this, Joe. It's gonna happen every time, baby. Get used to this. You are beautiful.
Thank
you are beautiful. You're the prettiest girl on this stream right now. I love it. It is wonderful.
Thanks to hear that one.
Thank you.
To be honest with you, I wouldn't date a girl like you. Anyway.
Yeah, good. No, yeah, way to backpedal. Way to backpedal. Like, I didn't want her anyways. I wasn't even interested in her anyways.
No. She's too young for me.
Oh, is that it? Is that it though?
Yeah.
No way. HotDudeLife. How old are you again?
How old are you?
I'm 33.
You're 33?
How old is Joe?
Yeah, buddy, I look good. I moisturize.
I didn't know you were. I thought you were like 26.
I live in the dream, baby. I moisturize the
dude life.
Okay, I saw that one.
Yeah. So.
Okay, so yeah.
Just a little social proof.
I think that's funny because and that okay. Here's the oh man, this is good. This is such good game breakdown too because a lot of guys when they hear about game, particularly like guys who are in sort of like the pickup artist hate community, these are the guys who like get into game and they go, it doesn't work, or these are paid models, or, when you see like Infields videos of like from RSD, or you see Infield videos from whatever, I don't know what else is even going on right now, but they always say it's fake, or they hired these girls, or this is not really what's going on. No real girl will do that. Or like what they'll do is, you notice what the guy down there who said, "Oh yeah, she's too young for me." Notice what he's doing. Like, okay, he realizes you get the girl, right? You get to walk away with this chick, and then I don't think he realized just how old you were, which I thought was probably kind of funny, but like, so she's choosing you. She's already selected you, and so like his ego defense is, well, I wouldn't go out with her anyways. Like, I would, and you've handled that masterfully, because whenever a guy does that, whenever a guy like tries to like disqualify a girl, always qualify the girl on top of that. Say, yeah, you probably wouldn't, or you use that and agree and amplify. And I think what pickup artists need to do is, we talk about all these techniques all the time. We talk about agree and amplify. We talk about amuse mastery. We talk about pre-selection. We talk about, sort of all of these techniques that we get into. A lot of these also transfer over to guys who are your competition in that moment. So not only do you agree and amplify with her earlier when you were talking about like her notch count, like oh yeah, that means it's you agree with her, and then you go, okay, yeah, it's actually 3 times that, and she giggles and she laughs, and she's already sort of she's kind of becoming into you. And what does she say in the next one? She says, I'm into guys who are into me. And so because you drew her out, look at what you did here. You drew this girl out. You got inside of her head. And so she's into you. It's like it's not like you're not in a club. You're not fresh out of the gym or something like that. You're running game on this girl, and she's attracted to you because of what you're saying to her. Not so much on the visual appeal, because there's hard. I mean, look at what you're doing. You're sitting in a bathrobe in your room, man. So it's not. So when guys go, oh, it's all about looks, man. Here's an example of it not being just about looks. I mean, yeah, you have a look to you, but it's a style. But it's not like you went in there and you were like ripped, and the girl like suddenly just starts putting her hands all over you or something like that. That's not what's going on here. You're removing almost that physical element, and you're relying on nothing but game. And so what you did here that's really kind of masterful is you're using, you also use agree and amplify with the guy who's trying to disqualify her, that bald guy in the lower the lower right-hand corner there. The guy on top of you who's trying to like direct the conversation, with his kind of goofy facial expressions. I think he just wants to be the MC. I think he probably already knows there's no.
Yeah, he is the MC. He is the MC.
Girl.
He is the MC.
Yeah, I was gonna say he kind of has the. Yeah, that's what he's adopting. So is it like, is he the guy that's just guiding the conversation, and it's between you and the ball-headed guy?
More people.
So he's not actually trying.
More people join. It's his show, and this was the very beginning of the show. It's still towards the end. There's like 12 girls in there, and I'm gonna play some of those clips later. But no, this is just the beginning, and then people filter in as the show comes on.
Okay, so what I think is interesting here. Let's just analyze what's going on with her. She confirms for you that she's into guys that are into her. And this guy down there has basically just cut himself off at the knees by saying, I wouldn't go out with you, because she's too young. He's 29 and she's 21, and he wouldn't go. Like, that's like classic blue pill beta mentality.
Oh.
It's I know I'm losing. I know I'm out of the running here, so I need to disqualify in order to just to preserve my ego. What kind of? What would have been funny is if you would have said, okay, what kind of girl would you go for, and like let him kill himself, like give him enough rope. But rather than that, you agreed and amplified with him, and you used agree and amplify on a guy who's a competitor. A lot of guys don't know that. You can use game on other dudes to push them out of the set. So
yeah, and let me. Okay, so it's funny that you said that, because on the next clip, he he really tries to go in on me about this, and I want.
You want to try this out again, Hot Dude?
I want to. Okay, watch. I'm just gonna show what happens. I'm gonna make the. Hold on. Okay. Okay. Let me see. I think that's. Give me 1 second because I don't want to show this guy's private information from Body Language Master. Let me get this fired up. Make sure I have it on the right page. What I'm going to show you is he has like a little speech. He has a little speech after.
I want
to. He has a little speech after. And
okay.
About basically about. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ! Well, so much for that. I'm an idiot. Okay, let me just play this. Tell me if you can hear it.
You want to try this out again, Hot Dude?
No.
I don't want to hurt your feelings again, bro.
No, come on. I don't fucking care. I think you're into that, though. I think you're into the younger chicks, because it helps you like redefine yourself.
Interesting. Whoa.
What do you mean by redefine myself? I would like to peak that. I would like to.
No. Like help you like assert your career. Whatever you want to call it.
I'm not asserting anything, but what I like. And she's, dude, for real. She's feminine. She's cute. She's skinny. She's got nice skin. She wears the choker. That's hot. I'm into it. She's got the pink hair. It's 10 out of 10.
What about my bagel shredding?
That's kind of weird.
Shred those bagels all day, baby. You could shred them all day. I'll get a little Roomba. I could zoom up all the stuff for you.
Oh, thank you.
But if it gets to the point where it's financially, unreasonable, then we're gonna have to have a sit down talk. And I'm like, listen, sweetheart. Oh yeah, eat that.
I should eat it instead. It was supposed to be my breakfast, but I got too nervous.
What kind of bagel is that? All right. All right, we're gonna let Rollo catch up here.
Hold on. Okay, so he gave you that. Okay, now I think I've caught up here. So he gave you that speech about like, what he's trying to do is, again, he's trying to AMOG you, but he knows he's out, so he's not going to get in with this chick no matter what. So to protect, a lot of blue pill guys will do this, and a lot of guys will. Well, I mean, most beta guys, but certainly blue pill guys will do this as an ego protection, mechanism. And so what they'll do is they'll try to, if they can't have her, nobody can have her, right? So she's completely like he's trying to make you look like the bad guy for actually finding her attractive. Now she's 21 years old. Anybody can tell that she's I don't know. What do you think? I would say she's probably about a 7.5. Maybe if she dressed up and you saw her in a club and she was made up, you might call her an 8.
Yeah,
I don't know.
7 max.
That's my scale.
She's got a 7 glass ceiling.
I mean, but it's easy. Okay. Compared to the girls in the very first video, she's if that was the baseline, she's attractive.
Yeah.
Like maybe not as attractive as that one blonde that was in the first video, but she's she's hot. She's okay. She's like somebody who would end up being certainly being a target of guys' attentions.
Yeah.
And so what does the guy say? So he tries to AMOG you and tries to make it sound like there's something wrong with you because you're 33 and you're chatting up a 21-year-old. Right, and it's working, and that's what's killing this guy right now. It's like killing him inside because it's like he's only 4 years younger than you are, so she should be like in his head. She should be responding to him more than you because he believes that women follow one sort of pattern, and if they don't follow that pattern, then there must be something wrong with them. And this is like a larger dynamic too. So when that happens, we want to say that woman is damaged. Like if a woman behaves in a way that if a red pill guy says women are like this, and then women act according to the way that the red pill predicts that they're going to react, because that doesn't go into this, it doesn't gel with what blue pill guys believe. Their automatic response is there's something wrong with that girl. She must be damaged. Not all women are like that. That's what they go for. And so here's a really, really good example of this in the wild. This is just okay. Remember, this is unprompted. This isn't happening on Twitter. This isn't happening with people who you have to think of these things right in the moment. So it's all your subconscious mixing with your conscious. So he's got to say, well, I wouldn't go out with her anyways. Like it's sour grapes, right? That's the first really reflex of guys who realize that what these red pill guys are saying, what these pickup artists are saying, what these guys, maybe they've figured something out, and it doesn't fit into all of this conditioning that they've had for so very long. So when you're a little boy and you're 5 years old and all of your female teachers teach you that women are this one way and you have to treat them like special little flowers and you have to sublimate your needs for hers and you have to make women your mental point of origin, well, what happens is when that girl doesn't act in alignment with that, then that's when blue pill guys think that there's something wrong with her, and they have to make it seem like she's got a problem. You've got a problem. Things aren't working out for him the way that he was taught that they should, and so therefore the people who are proving him wrong, proving the blue pill guy wrong, there has to be something wrong. They have to be deviant. They have to be like degenerates. There has to be something wrong with them. And that's like the joke is this: is like when a red pill guy points out some part of feminine nature and that woman, an unflattering part of feminine nature, and then when that woman confirms for that guy that that's what's going on, that's when like we say like blue pill guys weep bitter tears, because they cry over the fact that what they're saying, what they don't want to believe is true, is actually true about female nature. And that's the thing, when you unplug, when you go red pill, when you understand these dynamics, and I'm not saying just so much about like pickup artistry, but when you unplug from the matrix, when you realize that women's nature is as like we're saying, as we predict, as we expect that it would be, you have to sort of like guys have a real tough time with that because they're being pulled out of the matrix. They're being pulled out of this old idea that women are one way, and then when it's proven to them that they aren't, and they are actually the way that like these red pill guys are saying that they are, there's that cognitive dissonance that they have to deal with, and you're seeing that happen here in real time. This guy is like, he wants to disqualify her. There must be something wrong with her. There must be something wrong with you. And because if there's not something wrong with you, then you're right and she's right. And what you've been talking about, what he's learning from you all along is correct. And so there's going to be girls that are going to back him up and pat him on the back and say, "You're right. That guy is really a scumbag, or that girl's really a skank." That's what happens. But here's the thing: is like when you see that over and over and over again, then you build up this cognitive dissonance, and you have to find some way to reconcile that. So most blue pill guys will reconcile that by trying to disqualify you, and then the best thing about that is, as a guy who understands game, as a guy who's red pill aware, be ready for that. And you were, in this case, you were ready for that. And so you use his disqualification to even boost yourself up that much more, because you got nothing to lose at that point. He's trying to tear you down.
Yep.
You use his technique in tearing you down to build you up, to build more attraction. Because he's doing that, it puts you into an even higher status because of that.
Oh, yeah.
So some things to remember when this is great material, because it allows you to see this happen in real time. It's not like a secret camera in some club down in South Beach,
yeah,
with the green grainy night vision shit on it. Okay, it's like this is happening right real time, and us analyzing this I think this is a very important teaching tool. I'm glad you're doing this.
Thank you very much. So I've got a couple more clips. I'm gonna play. I have some clips of him just going into me and just like the day before. He hated me since day one. But I have some clips of him hating on me. But I think we've already dealt with that. But I want to introduce another girl. So I'm gonna segue into her. So her name is Sue, and I think Sue is fucking sexy as hell, and I was gaming her psychologically from the moment I saw her. But I want to play a couple of clips. Just shows. First one, I sent this one in the private chat, but I'll just play this real quick. There's this Vietnamese girl who came in with more red flags than a Chinese communist parade. Nice girl, sweetheart, nothing against her, but I just, I know a girl that likes to get tons of sex when I see one, and I just want to play this clip right here just for the audience. You've already seen it, but let's listen to it real quick.
Slam me through a table. Okay, so Peach.
We're not supposed to go into detail, but
it's WWE roleplay. Relax. All right, listen. I'm kidding, obviously. Okay.
It's GTA roleplay.
You're obviously not kidding. We all know that.
So Peach.
Yes.
I got a question for you.
Okay.
What is an absolute deal breaker when it comes to dating and a guy? Absolute deal breaker.
The guy loses his pulse. I love you. I love you. Just joking, sweetie.
Then we are.
So that's when I just decided to kind of.
Okay. So that was good.
Just decided to again like.
Okay, so that's interesting.
I think it's a good way. I just decided, I kind of made that room my room. I just kind of said whatever I wanted. I kind of just took control. It's just kind of what I do naturally through conversation. What do you take away from that?
Okay, well, I think what's interesting. Okay, so there's two personalities in this, at least from what I can tell, that are dominating the conversation. There's that one girl who's in that striped outfit, the striped shirt. I don't know who she is. She seems like the loudmouth, like boisterous, like mouthy broad at any like party or any club or something like that, who does the speaking for all the other girls, right? Mm-hmm. And all the other girls are just kind of like she sucks out all the oxygen out of the room, kind of thing. But they like her because they have to like her. Like I'm looking at her, there are certain archetypes in the social situation. The reason I know this is because I've been doing field studies like in my work for like a long time. Like when I'm in a club or when I'm at like a promo or something like that, these are the kinds of archetypes, I guess, is the best I can put it. So like if all of you guys were at like say a martini fest with me, I would be like watching and doing all kinds. I would be taking like mental notes of everybody, and I've been doing this for probably like almost 20 years now. So like that. To me, she seems like the one who has the social dominance from the female side of things. The other girl that he was asking the question to, and you said the guy's got to have a pulse. Like you and the girl in the striped outfit, in the striped shirt, would probably clash because you would be fighting for the attention of the room.
Yeah.
And so, like you yourself, you're dominating the room already because you just sort of you chime in and you're looking for you're not offensive, but not in a direct way. You're throwing out jokes there that are this is a really good example of a neg hit. I mean, again, we're gonna start looking at techniques here. This is a really good example of a neg hit. So it's sort of a backhanded compliment, like when you say the guy's got to have a pulse, right?
The thing was this.
Everybody laugh and everybody goes along with it.
The thing was this. They said, what was the absolute deal breaker for her? And I said, the guy does not have a pulse. Because she was just alluding to that she would fuck anything.
Yeah, exactly. And so that is a real that's and again, because a lot of guys think this. They think that when pickup artists go into and like back in the day when the game first came out and everybody was learning about neg hits and people thought it was schmaltzy and people thought, well, this will never, like girls would say, that would never work on me. here it is, 2019 works. It works great, and not just on her. It works on the whole crowd because everybody laughed along with you, and it was good natured. It wasn't you insulting her. It was you just sort of joking, and then you even sort of like buffered the impact of it by saying, "Hey, I'm just kidding," and you're throwing that out there. You're the comedian sort of the group, but you like. The way that you're throwing it out there, the way that you put that into a social setting, that's a good example. It's a good example of a neg hit because now not only is she the one that's laughing, all the other girls in the room are laughing too, and they're laughing at her, but it's good natured. It's not like you said you're a slut, or you didn't say you'd have sex with anything. You didn't say that, but the way that you delivered it's a backhanded compliment, is what it is.
Yeah.
It's saying it's a compliment, or it's a comment about a person's nature that everybody can sort of laugh at, and they can sort of laugh at themselves. And like even being in just this whole situation where you've got 12 other people in there. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous, isn't it? I mean, to get all of these people together and we're all going to start talking about intersexual dynamics, or we're going to talk about what it is about guys and girls. And I think that you're handling this really well because it would be very easy for a guy to go in there who is really kind of bitter and burnt, and go in there and want to be Mr. MR or want to be Mr. MGTOW. Go in there and want to make sure that he gets his message about the nature of women out there, and he's not doing it in a humorous fashion that everybody can sort of laugh along with, but go in there and attack everyone. So you're not attacking, you're actually running game. That's the difference here. It's guys will say, well, this stuff doesn't really work. Well, here it is working real time, and this is a neg hit that is working not just with the girl herself, but it's working with the whole group of guys and a whole group of girls that are there, and it boosts your. So you want to figure out how to get social proof. You just got social proof. Now I don't necessarily. I think people need to make a distinction between social proof and pre-selection. So you haven't been pre-selected in this, but your social proof just got built up because of just one comment that everybody could laugh about, and you become the character. You become the guy that they want to see what you're going to say next. I guess that's probably the best way to describe this. It's they want to see what the next outrage. Well, you're like their drug dealer. They get their endorphin rush. They get their dopamine hit from you because you said something funny. You said something characterful. And so they want to know, on the next question, they're asking this question, I would assume they're going to ask other ones as well. On the next question, everybody's going to be, looking at you. What does John have to say? Because you answered this other one for her and you did it humorously. It was a neg hit, and it draws attention towards you. But it also gives you social proof, because if everybody is sort of wondering what you're going to say in the group, you've got the social dominance in that group.
Oh yeah. I want to introduce one more girl to you. There's another girl that her name is Sue, and I just want to play these clips and watch what I do, and then I just want you to kind of just tell me what you think about it. Tell me what you think about her whole demeanor with me, because clearly I feel like she's used to living in her little echo chamber, because a lot of these girls on Twitch, they live in these echo chambers where they literally can sit on camera and eat a bowl of cereal, and guys will send them $100 just for doing that. Imagine how diluted your self-value would be if that happened to you consistently on a daily basis. And I just come in there and I'm just listen, basically, I mean, to put it quite frankly, you bitches ain't shit. I mean, not to shit on them, but you know what I mean? Just let them know, come on, really, let's have a little. If you're a scientist or actually contributing to society in some amazing way, but really you're sapping off the beta male economy. And I come in here and I pop this chick's bubble. I want to show you some of these clips here. So let me play the first one here. Here's the first one. Here we go. Clearly.
I'll take it.
Annabella, what's your horoscope sign?
Taurus, but do you believe in that stuff?
I was gonna say, do any of you actually believe in the horoscope shit?
Of course he does. He's teaching people how to date.
Oh, the salt is real.
I didn't even ask them what horoscope they are.
Dude, what is your horoscope, Sue?
Scorpio.
Oh my God! No wonder I don't like you.
I used to date a girl. I used to date a girl who was.
This is interesting. Okay, I see it. So just that one part there. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I think this is interesting because what you just did here. Now, God damn, and this is great stuff because like what you just did with the blonde girl is chick crack. It's absolutely 100% well delivered chick crack. Like asking a girl about her horoscope sign. Right, and notice that both of the chicks buy into. They both know it. They both know what their sign is, right? I'm a Taurus, but do you really believe in that kind of stuff?
Fuck no.
She's throwing it back at you because of course you don't. But you throw that out there because that's first of all, it's a conversation starter. But second of all women have some sort of like interest in the metaphysical or spiritual or superstitious, and so that's I mean the most appropriate one to talk about, of course, is horoscopes or astrology and stuff. It's likely that some chick buys into that. And here's the thing: is like if a woman says she doesn't, that just means that you have to dig a little bit deeper. You just have to say, well, what do you think about love languages? What do you think about tarot card reading? What do you think about, like Eastern mysticism, like that kind of stuff? And you will find that that somewhere along the way that woman is into some kind of spiritualism. And if she's not, then what that does is it sort of turns you, it gives you an insight into what her character is about and what her real personality is about. But like even the girl, like, what's interesting in this exchange here is you're applying your attention at the blonde girl again because you're getting a lot of good positive feedback from her. Like she's the one that she's already interested in you. That's already been pre-established. So when you throw another girl in there and the attention is going to the pretty girl, and the other girl's not that bad looking. I mean the blonde over there, but again she's a little bit more mouthy. Look at the difference between the blonde girl and the brunette.
And that's the same one that chose me.
Probably used to.
That's the same one that chose me, and then and let me ask you this. Do you pick up a little bit of competition between them or like little jealousy? I'm getting a little jealousy from Sue.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Okay, well, it's not so much jealousy as it's definitely competition anxiety because she realizes that this blonde, pretty little girl is already in this set. She's already in there. There's already a pre-established attraction between you and her. She understands that from the minute she comes on. So she looks at that. Here's interesting. If you look at when she comes on and she sees you and she sees her, the time it takes for her to understand that dynamic is like a millisecond. And guys don't understand that. Women can come into a situation and they can see a dynamic between a guy and a girl or in a social situation and they can read it like way, way faster than a guy does. Like guys will be trying to like, well, what's going on? And maybe you get a feeling for it, but it's much slower than it is for women, unless that woman is really kind of like, been isolated her entire life and she's sort of a wallflower. Maybe she doesn't get that. But most women, they can go into a social situation and they can see the dynamic between guys and girls like instantaneously, and then from that point, they work from that point. That's how they insert themselves in the conversation. That's how they establish their own social dominance within the pecking order of the women. Because remember, women are social creatures. Okay, women when we look at our evolutionary past, men were the hunters, women were the gatherers. Men had to base their understanding of each other based on competence and dominance hierarchies. Women is more social. It's like if you're not in the group, the worst thing for a woman is to be selected out, to be ostracized, to be selected out of the social group.
Yep.
And so even amongst just two women, that's a social group. And so here this girl comes in, she sees what's going on, and she doesn't want her, even if she's not into you, she doesn't want anybody else to be focusing on her. She wants them to be focusing on the blonde girl. They want her to be focusing on her.
Yeah.
So that's why you see that. I wouldn't say it's jealousy so much as it's her trying to put her thumb down on the blonde girl that everybody is into, because she's probably had to deal with that kind of competition in the past.
Yeah.
And so that's why she gets a little mouthy with you, and she wants to try to tear you down. It's interesting that her competition is, or her desire to take you down a notch is even more intense than the bald-headed guy was on the previous step.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
He just wants to disqualify you. She wants to ruin you. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I've met a few like that before. Let me show you. You know what you said right there is perfectly true, because I literally the next clip I'm gonna show, it's just a quick one. It's exactly her doing that to another girl. Exactly, stomping out the fire of attention that's spreading away from her. Like, spot the fuck on. It's going back to the Vietnamese girl, the one with all the tattoos. I'm gonna play it real quick. It's a little quick one here, because she's Vietnamese, and I asked her, like, you know, hey, where are you from? You know, I start gaming her too, right? Because fuck it, why not? And I'll just play the clip right quick. Here we go. Let me see. Is this showing to you guys? Okay. All right, cool. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Ooh, did you like it? I got food poisoning the first time I went there.
I loved it. They're so alive. They're so like just real. They're just real with you. I went to Saigon. Where did you go?
Yeah, Saigon as well. Thank you for calling it Saigon.
Yeah, not Ho Chi Minh.
Yeah, thank you. My parents would be proud of you.
Don't listen to him. No, Peach, don't talk to him. Don't listen to him. He's
See, don't get jealous. Don't get jealous, Sue. Don't get jealous. Calm down. Eat something. Calm down.
Me, as a fellow woman being,
that's sexist. As a fellow woman, that's sexist. You don't know she identifies.
Girl power. Girl power.
It's almost predictable. It's literally you just said that, and I just demonstrated what happened. Like, if this was scripted, this is the best fucking scripting in the history of the Manosphere.
Right. Well, okay, yeah, okay. So there's a few things that are going on here. I wanna address because this is so funny. If you look at the guys, people are going to have to go, and when this is recorded, they'll have to like kind of back this up again. Go back and look at the faces of the other guys who are there, like bald-headed guy in the blue chair that was trying to tear you down. He's just like, he's bored. He's like, oh man, I'm out, and I'm still a part of this. Like, he probably wants to like pull himself out of this conversation. And if you look at the other guys who are part of this, it's like they're just dumbfounded. They don't know what's going on. They like see you dominating the conversation here, and you've got what? God damn! I mean, you got what? 10 girls that are all focused in on what it is that you're saying.
Yeah.
And then so
day in the life.
One thing. Look at the expressions and look at the attitudes of the other guys that are there, because you are sucking all the oxygen away from these guys. And so there's that resentment that's going on there. That's the first thing. The second thing is this is like the girl, the Vietnamese girl, when you say it was, Saigon instead, she's already boosting your social proof. And if you were in like if you were in a setting where you were all there together live in real time, like you were all together in a club, you would probably have pre-selection, but because of the limitations of this format, I would only say you're getting social proof here. But then what happens is the girl who doesn't want you to be the guy, she's like, oh, don't listen to anything he says, And so what you're seeing is this appeal to the sisterhood. Because here's this one girl who's like, right now, when you get that many girls in one social setting, they form the sisterhood. They form that even girls, even women who have never met each other before in their lives, like you take them all and you put them into one social setting, which is what you're doing right here, they instantly form the sisterhood. They instantly form the collective, because it's like, that's the, us girls got to stick together. They form a tribe immediately, and that's exactly what you're seeing here. And so the first thing is like the girl who's like coming out against you, saying, don't listen to him, and then the other girl's like, girl power, she's trying to like, the Vietnamese girl is attracted to you. She's let's just say she is responding favorably to you.
Yeah.
And so another girl says, don't listen to anything he says. Right. Well, what she's trying to do, she's trying to establish dominance over the sisterhood. She's trying to establish dominance over that tribe. And what she's doing is she's kind of like, the sub-communications she's giving to the other girl is, don't go for him, stick with the tribe, don't go rogue, right? And so, but the the Vietnamese girl wants to go rogue because she likes you, she's into you, and so she has to pull herself back in and sort of laugh and say, girl power. But that's an interesting social dynamic that goes on between women, because what does she say? Oh, girl power, right? So there's this unspoken subcommunication that when you get women together in one social setting, they all form this sort of impromptu tribe, and now we all got to stick together. And what happens is the dynamic amongst the women become one that they all have to approve of one guy for that girl to go off with that guy. And this goes right back to our hunter-gatherer beginnings, is when women get together and they form a social clutch, and women are far more collectivist. Men tend to be more merit-based, which is why you're dominating all these guys. But when you put women together and they form that tribe is collectivist. And so the women in the tribe can only go out with the hottest guys that the other girls approve of. And if they don't, then they have to go against that. So you have to be someone that is so attractive and so hot, or is so engaging in some way that she's willing to go against the collective of women to say, you know what, I don't care what you bitches think, I'm going to go with this guy because I think he's hot, I think he's fun, and I'm going to get with him. So, or the women of the collective have to approve of that guy, and this girl is not approving of you because she thinks you're full of shit. She thinks you're running game, which you are, but she doesn't want even you to have the attention that she believes that she should have.
Yeah. I have some more clips of this chick. So actually, I was gaming this girl from the get-go. This Sue girl, I think this Sue girl is sexy as fuck, man. This girl is just my type. She's kind of spacey. She's definitely done a lot of drugs. I want to show you some fucking more clips of her. But I want to show you some more clips of her, and then I want to ask you a question. I'm going to put another one up here. As soon as she joins, she starts to immediately talk shit about me. What I noticed is too, there's a lot of girls watching me, and then they'll come in and they'll be like, hey, I've been watching you, and you said this and blah blah blah. So I want to play this one for you, and tell me what you think. This is the next 4 clips are focused around that girl Sue, who was siphoning the attention from didn't like me giving attention to the blonde, and didn't like me giving attention to the Vietnamese. We'll talk about her right now.
Yes.
Okay.
Welcome to the stream, Sue. It's great to see you.
It's a bit like you. Like when you look at it from one side, it looks pretty ugly, but then when you open it up, it's actually nice orange.
Holy shit.
Just hurry up and put it in your mouth.
It's only one place. Don't tell me what to do, mate. It's only
put
one
it in your
place
mouth.
that's ugly.
Now. Eat it. I command you.
I'm sorry. Actually, now that I see your head, I don't feel like eating orange anymore.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Thank you.
That's
sorry.
Right.
Welcome to the stream, Sue. Anyways.
She's eating it. She's eating it.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to be interviewed for the Ross Show, ! Join.
All right, that's the first one, and I'm just going to chain them together here.
Okay, hold on.
That it's you, because you're in your head and you're not.
Yeah.
So
you think about
What are you hiding behind the glasses? What are you hiding behind?
He's in.
What's going on here?
Greg, go ahead.
Oh my god.
I'm getting cocked right now.
Hey.
Get direct, bitch.
Listen, all you have to do is take the sunglasses.
Speak English.
The hair one today.
What are you hiding behind the glasses?
Okay, alright, so I've seen the first one there. She with the whole thing with the orange.
Checks out.
Yep, and I linked this one straight up here. Keep
Okay, so
in video game.
Doc, who do you have up?
Okay, am I looking at another one? Yeah.
Who do you have next?
I'm trying to figure it out right now. No one's really catching my eye. If I'm
Do
being
you ever
completely
look in the mirror and you're like, I'm really like in this body, but who the fuck is it?
Wow, that's deep.
True.
That sounds like a lot of drug usage.
Yeah.
It's true though. It's true.
Good one,
No,
Aslan.
because you look at yourself, you know it's you because you've been seeing yourself for your whole life, but actually it's weird that it's you because you're in your head and you're not.
Yeah.
So
you think
if you could like,
are just like a set of synapses firing and shit like
Yeah,
that.
I have felt that before.
If you could upload yourself into a new unit, would you do it?
A new unit?
Yeah.
What does that mean? Like a new body?
Yeah.
Only when I was.
I'm asking Sue because she probably thought about this.
I would divide my consciousness from
She's
my
got
body
this all thought out already.
I can become an energy and go through the whole space and the universe with more than light speed because I will become energy and I can just teleport anywhere. That's what I want to do.
Would you use that talent to speak English?
Would you use the talent to speak?
Holy shit.
I'm calling Ghostbusters.
Sue, when you start your streams, you should put on the Twilight Zone themes.
That's it right there. That's pretty much it right there.
This is funny. This is funny. Sorry, I got to the funny part.
Yeah. You could just skip the rest. I kind of let it play longer.
Okay. All right, I saw the rest of this thing here. All right, well, so this is almost too stupid to actually. But what's interesting is if you look at the girl I guess her name is Sue, the one that's the brunette with the orange.
Yeah.
She's used to having a lot of attention paid to her.
Yeah.
And she's not used to having, first of all, competition. She's probably one of these girls who's like a cam whore. She's probably one of these girls who's like a Instagram. Like if you look at her, look at what she's wearing, and then you look at the background. Like it's just like morning, and she's having breakfast, but she looks like she just came back from the club.
Yeah.
Right? And she knows that she's going to be on video, and she knows she's going to guys are going to be looking at her. Just a quick question: Do like I'm looking at obviously I know you have your own channel and you have your own gig, but like if you go and you look at this guy who's like the bald-headed guy in the blue chair, and he's got like all that acoustic, that soundproofing in the back, he's got to have his own show.
Yeah, he's just getting started.
All of these guys, are they coming on here? Okay, so this is almost like an act of self-promotion.
Yeah.
I don't know. Does the blonde girl down below? Does she have her own show as well? Is she involved? Like she has her own brand of me of some sort? Yeah. Okay. So all these guys are going to want to present themselves in their best light because really this is just sort of a preview of your own shows. So like that girl down in the brunette with the orange. I think really she's probably used to guys just fawning all over her, like you're so pretty, so when she gets shit given to her, when she has that out of the ordinary, it's not like the positive emotional association that she's used to, it's the negative one. She doesn't know how to handle that, but this is another good example of it doesn't matter whether it's positive or it's negative. You're probably not going to get with any of these girls as it is, so you have nothing to lose. It's not like you're going to go and like the girl's going to hit you up and say, "Hey, I want to fly to Japan so I can, so we can go have a date." None of these girls are going to do that. But like, it's an interesting illustration, I guess, of how you can use game techniques and how you can sort of push one girl off to make one girl more attractive. Because when you notice what happened here is when you started paying attention to the brunette. The blonde girl's like, "Hey, what about me? Hey, I thought we had something." Like, she's not saying that, but the attitude and the body language, and like she wants to insert herself back into the conversation because she's coming to you for that dopamine hit. You are both of these girls drug dealers, and these two dudes on the side are like wondering what's going on because they don't understand how they're getting pushed out of all of this and how come they're not the ones that like these girls are really into. I think it would be interesting to see a show like this where like you're on there and you actually have some real competition. Like you actually have another guy on there who knows game and who runs game on these girls as well. And to see not necessarily like you competing against him, but like maybe you guys both doing tag team. Right, like you get like one guy gets the blonde and the other guy gets the brunette, and they're pushing other guys out of the set, and they're sort of like they like game recognizes game. You've heard that before.
Yeah.
Like if you had another guy in this whole thing, I think it would be even better to see how those interactions can work between two guys who are cooperating and then two guys who are competing against each other. Because it's almost unfair right now because those guys don't know what they're doing. These guys are just kind of goofs that are in there, and you're sucking all the oxygen out of the conversation. And so look at what's happened here. The first girl, like she has a negative response to you, but she has a response to you. I mean, look at the visceral, physical response of this girl. Are you going to get with her? No, probably not. But you can use her energy to get with the blonde, to get with another girl that's in that set.
Yeah.
And this, like I said, this is a really great illustration of game techniques in the wild, in actually working in real time, as opposed to people saying it's staged.
Let me play 2 more for you, and then I'll ask you the final question. Okay, I got the next one here.
Okay.
Let me see what this one is. Here we go. Up sign?
I understand it.
Right?
People
Gemini?
want-
Yeah. Gemini, that's such a Gemini thing to say.
Oh my god, everything is such a dumb thing to say.
But no, do you know why? Do you know why he says that? Because people want to relate to things. And when you read something about in horoscopes, you feel like, hey,
True.
you feel like you belong somewhere. That's why we know that Hot Dude feels like he's out of this world because either his intelligence isn't enough or he just doesn't have self-confidence, so he feels like he needs to belong to a group of people.
I am rent-free in your mind already, and I love it.
Goodness.
I hope somebody's there to save you if you choke. That would be terrible.
No, that's my biggest fear ever, that I choke on an insect and no one can help
You
me.
can do it with a chair. If you hit your stomach at the back of a chair at a perfect angle. That's like how you're supposed to do the self-Heimlich.
Hey, Annabelle. Anna, go.
Wait,
I think's Hot Dude's lying about living in Tokyo.
I saw that. I was about to whip out my passport and show the friggin' visa. That's funny.
Why you're so self-conscious and no?
Yes, I am
things that you
super
feel like you have
insecure.
to prove yourself to people.
Especially girls like you. I just live. I wake up every morning, I cry, and then I write in my journal, like, how can I impress women who don't speak English named Sue? That's my affirmation. That's my affirmation every day.
Do you really not understand Sue? I feel like she's so easy to understand.
Thank you.
I just don't know. I mean, you got a really good ear because you're Scottish, you know. So
But to be honest, I am pretty too intelligent for some people to understand me. So I
pretty too intelligent. Can somebody clip that? I'm pretty too intelligent.
Agree.
I remember my first English.
Oh
it's
my
good.
God, you're triggering my autism attacks.
Thank you. I just don't know. I mean, you got a really good ear. Well, to be honest, I am pretty too intelligent. Pretty too intelligent. I'm pretty too intelligent. I remember my first.
Okay, all right. So I saw that clip as well.
Okay.
I think that's interesting. Is that the guy, the Scottish guy, tries to chime in there, and notice what he does. And you, okay. First off, before I get to that part, you use the Muse Mastery in this really, really well. Or excuse me, not Muse. Well, you are, but you're also using agree and amplify. If anybody wants a textbook example of agree and amplify, it's when you were telling her, like, yes, I am self-conscious. Oh, yes, I write it in my. You went with it and you agreed, and then you amplified it with, oh, yes, I go and I write in my journal and I cry every night, then write about a girl named Sue or whatever her name is.
Yeah.
You know? And like that to the point of exaggeration. And did you see what happened when you did that? The blonde girl giggles. She laughs because she sees the interaction between the two of you, and she knows that the brunette girl is trying to sort of steal her thunder. There's a difference in attitude between the blonde. Like the blonde one she kind of has that sweet kind of. Robert Greene in what Art of Seduction would classify her as the natural, I think is what he would say she is, or she has that childlike qualities. Like she tries to be coy, right? She tries to she plays on the giggly kind of little girl kind of like all of this is new to her. She's naive. Maybe she's probably not as naive as you'd like to believe, but like she laughs at your jokes because you agreed and you amplified. And then even when you agreed and you amplified, it still had an effect on the brunette. She even thought it was funny that you agreed with her and you amplified. Now, what's going on here? Remember when I always talk about how women want a guy who just gets it? What you did right there was proving that you get it. You understand that you're in a game and you're playing a game with her, and you play it very well. You play it better than she does. So that exchange between you and her, where she's challenging you, she's giving you shit tests is what she's doing. That's another example here. Yep. She's giving you shit tests. You go with agree and amplify. You nullify that shit test, and then you put it back on her. Like when you did the neg hit about I speak English goodly or whatever that is. So here's an example. What you did is she's giving you shit tests. You pass the shit test with agree and amplify, and then you put it back on her with a neg hit.
Yep.
And so you've just seen three different techniques, three different pickup artist PUA techniques or game. Let's not even call them PUA. Let's
game,
call them
baby. Game is real.
That have been you've just seen an exchange here. You're not in a club. You're not drinking. You're not showing off your six-pack abs. You're not, you don't have like flowing long Fabio hair. You don't, let's just say that the barrier to entry with respect to the physical. Look at all the guys in this. None of the guys, like including yourself, look at all the guys in this. None of these guys look like they're going, okay, I'm going to go put on a suit and tie. I'm going to go look good on this social, this basically a social network. None of these guys really thought about what it was they were going to wear. Maybe you did because you're like, I'm just going to go wear this bathrobe or I'm going to go wear this like floral, Playboy T-shirt or something like that. You're thinking about that a little bit, but you're not like out there trying to flaunt your six-pack abs or something like that. But then you look and you notice, look at all the women in all of these exchanges. They all did something to make themselves look as best as they possibly could because they understand, women fundamentally understand that it's not about their game so much as it is about their physical appearance. So the girl who's going to get the most attention is going to be the one who paid the most attention to her looks because that, again, social Darwinism at its finest. So here you've seen a game technique. You've seen her brunette girl giving you a shit test, you passing it with agree and amplify, then putting it back on her with a neg hit. She has to play along with that. She has to go along with that to sort of save her, because she understands she's in a social setting, and it's not just the six of you guys in this chat. It's like hundreds of thousands of people who are watching this. I don't know how popular the channel is, but people who are looking at this on Twitch. So she understands the power of the audience, and she knows that she has to be on top of her game.
Yeah.
And then when she meets a superior player, she has to, she reverts to that kind of that school. She reverts to her natural impulses as a woman, as a girl, to respond to you. So even though it was negative, even though you threw it back on her about her her speaking English, and then so you did that. All of this exchange happened in front of the Scottish guy or whatever the dude at the bottom right hand corner was. He's basically locked out of the conversation. You've AMOG'd him and didn't even try to AMOG him. He's AMOGing himself. He tries to insert himself back into the conversation. You briefly acknowledge him for a second, but only enough to build yourself up. Because what is he trying to do? He's trying to defend the lady's honor, even if it's just sort of a half measure. When he does that, he's trying to get in there and go, I really understand, Sue. That's the first thing out of this guy's mouth. And why is that? Because he's trying to identify with the feminine, because he sees you pushing against the feminine, and he sees this positive reaction from two girls. Yeah. Not just you going and having this interaction.
Three, the Vietnamese one too.
Yeah, but you, the
three,
and the blonde. And exactly. Prior to that, yeah. But so you're getting all of this. You're getting this social proof, and so he wants to. He's thinking he's got to put himself into the conversation if he's going to get anywhere. If he's going to stay on the show. I don't know if he got kicked off later or not. But what he tries to do is he tries to be, I'm going to be on the girl's side. I'm going to be on team girl. And that's what he sees. He sees a team dynamic here. He sees this toxically masculine guy who's giving these poor girls so much grief, but they're laughing and they think he's cute and they think of what he's saying is entertaining and engaging. But he puts himself in there and he can't play your game, so he tries to identify and get on Team Woman. And this is what happens when you do that. When you're a beta guy and you're a blue pill guy and you believe in what I call identification game, when you believe that you have to identify with the feminine for them to like you, you become part of that female social collective that I was just talking about in the last clip. So when you get a lot of girls together, the sisterhood Uber Alice, the sisterhood comes together and forms their own little tribe. What beta guys do is they think that because they can't command the room or they can't command the attention or the engagement from women, that they have to get into that collective themselves. And this is a big mistake that beta male blue pill guys do, is they think that their identification will endear them to the female collective, that they'll just be part of this, like, you know what, I know how to get in there, I know how to get these girls to like me, I'll become one of them, I'll be on their army, I'll become a male feminist, right? I'll become their friend, right? I'll be the male friend that's in the group. But the problem is when you do that, you start to socialize and you start to communicate as another woman. And so what women's subconscious do is they say, okay, this guy, maybe he's the gay straight friend, or maybe he's the guy that comes in there who's the blue pill orbiter. He comes in and he starts behaving and communicating as a woman does. And he says, I'm on your team, girls. I understand Sue more than you do. Like, I'm really on her side. And she pats him on the head, and she says, yeah, thanks, Beta. Yeah, that's cool. But she's not talking to him. She's talking to you. Yep. And the reason for that is because when you communicate like a woman's subconscious treats you as if you are one of the girls, as if you are one of the girlfriends. So when I say this, and I mean this in the most literal sense, when I say women have boyfriends and girlfriends, and if you're not banging her, you are her girlfriend. Yep. I mean that in the most literal sense, because women, when you communicate and you endear yourself to a woman from a female point of origin, from a female prospect, like you're on Team Woman, they see you as another girlfriend. They see you as another female. You're not a sexual threat. You're a teddy bear. You're the comfort that's within the social collective that is the tribe of women there. But when you try to break out of that, when suddenly you're the stuffed animal that's part of their collective, and then you have a hard-on, they're like, oh, he's got a hard-on. I thought you were one of us. I thought you were actually one of these girls. And they get really offended and they get really upset because they understand that you're trying to sort of weasel your way into their social collective. Women will have far more respect for a guy who stays outside of the female social collective like you are, because you're engaging. And even if you get nowhere, at least you have the respect of approaching them as a man would approach instead of as a woman would approach. So that's a very, very valuable lesson, because this guy, the Scottish guy, is never going to get anywhere with chicks until he realizes that.
Yeah, and then I want to add something in too. Like, I think this is a good example of. I think that the advice, be yourself, is so it's very good, but it can interpret it very bad. Because I literally just went in there and I was just being myself, but at the same time, I already have my stuff internalized and figured out, and most guys don't. But this is like, once you have your shit sorted out, like the big three: make money, make muscles, learn game. Then you have like your internal components figured out. That's when you could kind of be yourself. And I think that's kind of tying into amused mastery. Because I'm just showing up. I'm literally in a bathrobe and fucking sunglasses. And I'm running circles around these dudes just because my mouthpiece and my game is way more razor sharp. I think I got one more clip here. I forgot which one this is because I didn't label it.
Wait, hold on. Go ahead. Before you go on to that, let me explain one other. There's one other real quick hit here that I wanted to explain. You notice how the girls say, "Why don't you take your sunglasses? You're the only one with sunglasses on. Why don't you take your sunglasses off? Why don't you do this?" If you would have done that, if you would have taken your sunglasses off, that is an acquiescence of power. They're basically saying, take off your sunglasses because that's your secret power. Yep. Take off your sunglasses because you control the frame, and if you were to take off your sunglasses, then you will lose the frame. So right now, if this is another great example of frame in a social situation or in a game situation. But I don't know if you've read or I've got a post called Alpha, and in Alpha I explain the elements of like how alpha is interpreted by women and how men can become alpha. In that post, it's actually a part of the chapter of my first book as well. I describe a video by Corey Worthington. Do you know the video that I'm talking about?
Yes,
Corey Worthington was
Buddha.
a kid in Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he, good-looking dude, looks like the surfer boy. He had this huge party that caused like $20,000 in damages, and this was like way back in the early 2000s, like 2012, I think, is when it was, or maybe it was 2011. And so the Australian media interviewed him. And he is just like, he's so alpha and so oblivious to his, like, he has internalized game. Like, he has a natural alphaness. I call him the alpha Buddha, right? It's like Zen for him. It just is what his natural response is to act and behave more alpha. And in that interview, there's this cute kind of blonde girl who's interviewing him about the party that caused all this damage. And she does the same thing that just happened here. Yep. She says, why don't you take off your glasses and apologize to everybody? And he says, no, I'm not going to do that. Yep. And she's like, well, why? He goes, because my glasses are famous, because they're famous, right? And he refuses to acquiesce to, and it's exactly, when I was watching this, I'm like, that is exactly what happened with Corey Worthington. He would not take his glasses off because it's a challenge to his frame. And because he's alpha, because he's like in this Zen state of alpha that he's internalized so much, like taking off his sunglasses is just like, why would I do that? That's stupid. This is who I am. This is part of how, accept me as I am, or get the fuck out.
I just see it as also...
That's exactly what you did here. And understand that it's a challenge, and that's the challenge that women will say. They'll try to tear you down. Why don't you take that off? Why don't you show your real face? That's what she's looking for.
Actually, I want to... Actually, I have a clip of... I'm going to look it up because it's worth it. But I have a clip of one of the girls telling me to take my sunglasses off. And I have a pretty solid reply. I just want to show it to you. The question I was going to ask you is, do you think at all that this girl, Sue, was into me, or she was just wanting the attention? What do you think it was more in the lines of? Rollo, you there?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. I thought you were going to play another video.
Oh, I gotta cue it up in the meantime.
Do I think that Sue was into you?
Yeah. Do you think she was into me, or just wanted the attention?
I think that she was into you?
Hmm.
I think. Okay, put it this way. I think there was a potential for her to be into you.
Uh-huh.
If you were like live, real time, like okay. You have to understand that when you are in a situation where there's no way you're possibly going to meet this other person, that is. It's what I call the observer effect, or actually what everybody calls it. It's a psychological term, the observer effect. Observing a process changes the process.
Yeah.
So all of these girls know that they're protected. They're never going to meet you in face to face. They might even have a different response to you or a different reaction to you had they met you in a club or on the street or whatever they would have, because they're in a protected area. They're in their own little cubicle. They're in their own home. They're comfortable where they're at. They know that the possibility of meeting you is like next to nothing. So their investment cost in dealing with you is next to nothing as well.
Right.
So that's the one limitation that I see in this format right here. You could study game techniques all day long, but unless you can like convert that game technique into that girl being into you, like the blonde would probably definitely be into you, but we can only speculate because there's that barrier between you and the rest of these girls in their safe. They're in their safe spot.
Yes.
So they're not anonymous, but they're in their safe spot, meaning that they don't have to see you in real time. Would she have been into you? Let's just say, for sake of argument, that you could remove that. I think the possibility is there. I think that if you would have developed that a little bit more, I don't see why she would be your primary target anyways. I think the blonde would be your primary target, but that's almost too easy. She's a given.
Yeah.
So,
the blonde is really
the brunette.
I was gonna say the blonde is really innocent, like you mentioned. She's 21. She still lives at home with her mom and dad. She's kind of like, I think the blonde is really feminine. This Sue girl, I feel like she's been on the carousel for a while. She's like kind of artsy, has the raspy voice, does a lot of drugs. She has all the symptoms of that type of girl that I've met in real life before. You've probably seen them on
She's used to the brunette.
Yeah.
The brunette is used to a lot of attention. She's used to guys. She's used to guys like that Scottish guy saying, "I really understand you."
Yeah.
She probably hates those guys too.
Okay.
She probably has a lot of beta orbiters. I would be interested to know, like, if you did any background research on her, like, find out what her channel is and find out, like, what her, like, is she an Instagram model? What exactly does she do? I would be willing to bet money that she's used to having a lot of male attention.
Oh, yeah.
And most of those guys are not worthy of her. They're beneath her notice.
She has 26,000 followers on Twitch and 12,000 followers on Instagram. So she's used to it. And she's getting financed. Okay, I think I got this clip here.
That's not even average. That's not even average.
Let me see if I got this clip here. Girls,
I love ENTP. That's my favorite, actually. ENTP.
They are.
Anyway.
We talk about Myers-Briggs. You'd love that.
Not going to.
Quincy, you said something. What'd you say?
Oh God.
Okay, hold on. No, I'm gonna bring it back
That's
here.
Chick crack. That's more chick crack.
Oh, there's a reason I'm a specialty in it. Okay, let me see. Okay, here we go. This is after this is going back to so just so you know, this blonde girl is actually a cam girl. And she's also a lot of cam girls transition over to Twitch.
Really?
Yeah, they transition over to Twitch. Here is she actually does exactly what you say. She asked me to take off my glasses after I kind of did a beta I guess you could interpret it as a beta thing by saying she's the prettiest girl in the room. I'm going to end with this one, but let's watch here. I'm queuing it up right now. Conclusions. I would not judge you. Get your money. There are hold on. No, you
So you should try to do like nice compliments, right?
Dude, that was a nice compliment. It was just absorbed by insecurity.
Berlin just tweeted to bring Carla back.
The teacher
So hard
love
right
it.
now.
Let's go.
Guys.
Come back, Carla. Come back.
10 head. Holy shit.
Dude, I don't know what the fuck is going on right now.
But dude, you wouldn't like me because I'm a cam girl. Weren't you saying something?
Welcome back, Carla.
Why would wait? Why are you assuming I would not like you because you're a cam girl? I'm friends with
Because
some cam girls.
I'm sure I heard something. You said something last night.
No, you jump to conclusions. I would not judge you. Get your money. There are plenty of guys lining up to hand out that dough.
Dude, do you ever talk to somebody like without?
Do you ever balance your calories out? I'm sorry.
Just
Go ahead.
let them talk.
Go ahead.
I'm good. Fuck it.
Oh, okay.
Not worth my time.
That's what I'm saying.
For Faded to say that. Wow.
Because he always wants to go in on me for no reason.
Well, he just wanted to say something.
No,
You didn't let him finish.
Oh my God, the way you word things is what the problem is. That's
It's
the
fine,
problem.
bro.
What you're
guys,
saying is
ladies,
not bad.
ladies,
It's just like
ladies.
condescending as fuck.
Ladies, it's okay. Ladies,
Yeah.
it's okay.
Yes, stated.
His comment was absorbed by insecurity. That's why he doesn't want us to talk. It's okay.
That's exactly right.
It's okay.
Exactly
Don't worry.
right. 100%.
Look, bro. If you didn't get enough attention from your mommy when you were younger, that's fine. But there's no need to act on Twitch.
What are you talking about, Captain Frumpy? Like, what are you, like a psychologist now?
No, but I like armchairing you because it's so easy because you just make a fool of yourself.
Have you taken the Myers-Briggs personality test before?
ENFJ. I actually very, very well versed in the Myers-Briggs. I have my degree in psychology. I'm actually huge into psychology.
You might be the smartest person I think I've ever met.
ENFJs are not the smartest. Usually it's INTJs. You know that, if you know Myers-Briggs.
Hot dude, can I see
What's
your
your
eyes?
personality, Jules?
I'm ENFP, the most fun.
I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
ENTPs are
Just ignored me.
girls.
I love ENTP. That's my favorite, actually. ENTP.
They are.
Anyway, not going to.
Quincy, you said something. What'd you say, sweetheart?
Can you take off your glasses? I want to see your eyes.
No. What are you asking me for? I don't even know. I'm not going to dress for you. Why don't you take off something for me?
BT Soda, thank you for continuing
to
sub.
Really?
Oh my God, the disrespect keeps coming in.
Really?
All right, it's ended for me.
Jesus. Oh, wait, hold on. Okay, all right. So I've seen that last one there. All right. So what I think is interesting is like you're still focus of attention in all this. Like whether it's Myers-Briggs, like when you throw Myers-Briggs out there, I think this is also a form of chick crack.
Yep.
Like it's for girls who think they know something about something, but let's just be honest. MBTI is astrology. It is chick crack, and women love that stuff. And so those are conversation starters. Those are ways that you can sort of work your way into. I think Myers-Briggs is bullshit, but I think that just like I think like tarot card reading is bullshit, and I think that fucking, other than UFOs, I'm not quite sure that there are really anything like superstitious. But so anyways, then of course what she tries to do, she tries to get the blonde girl tries to get you to take off your glasses. That was a good response. Well, why don't you, I'll take them off if you take something off for me, kind of thing. That's great. That was absolutely perfect comeback to that. The other thing is, if you look at the guys here, they're already. There's some of these guys have already surrendered. Like the guy that she said, "Have you balanced your calories out?" That guy, that guy's Mr. like hipster beard guy with hippie dude smoking weed. Where he's probably got his own channel as well, I would expect. Right. That guy right there he's trying to run beta game on you. He's thinking that his beta game is going to work. Like, I guess you're more insecure than we all thought. They want to try to make you the butt of the joke, but they're still paying attention to you. Every girl in that exchange is all focused on you. They're not focused on any other guy that's in there. They're not asking them questions. They're waiting to see what the next thing is that you are going to say. And so it seems like you're kind of losing a little bit of frame right there because they want to make fun of you. They want to say, "Oh, well, your mommy didn't give you enough love." Those are the kinds of things that you need to have a comeback for. Those are the kinds of things that you need to have an agree and amplify. And I don't know how you would do that. Maybe you could come up with some ideas, but for the next time that happens. But be prepared for those kinds of things, because what they're going to do, and if you were on top of your game, and if you don't have to have this rote memorization. You did pretty good with most of this stuff right here.
And keep in mind, this is three different settings, because I have 3 different outfits on as well. Like these are 3 different days.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and the other thing is you're dealing, in some of these you're only dealing with 4 people. In some of them you're dealing with 6 or 8 or something, and then in this one I think you're dealing with 12 people. The more people that get involved, the harder it is to command the room. And any stand-up comedian, anybody who does improvisational theater, that kind of stuff, the bigger the audience, the harder it is to maintain that, because they're looking at you, one person, for the entertainment. They want Jerry Seinfeld to be funny every single time. And when you have that talent and you understand those, how to command that room, that's great. But when you don't, you're still learning, the more people that you have loaded in there, and then this isn't like a theater. This isn't like you sitting in an audience and everybody's wondering what you're going to say next. They get to interact and they get to heckle you as well. So you have to be ready for whatever it is that they're going to say. If you're going to command the room, then you have to commit to it. You can't go out. I think one of a lesson that needs to be learned here is you have to commit to owning your personality, owning your frame, owning the fact that they're going to be focused on you. Because what guys will do, guys who have bad game, they'll only learn and they'll only memorize just enough game to help them in one particular setting. Yep. And this is what I call domain dependence.
Right.
Guys will get dependent upon they get really good at a one-on-one. They'll get really good at here's the thing. If you go and you look at anything that Roosh has written, when it comes to a game or he's got a book called 30 Bangs, which I thought actually was one of the best books that he's done. But if you look at his game, he is really, really domain dependent, because he follows the same formula over and over and over again throughout. If you read 30 Bangs, it's through 30 girls, and they all happen almost identically because he sticks into one domain dependent way of doing things. If you put that kind of game, if you put Roosh in a social setting where he has to amog other guys, where he has to go and has to manage different sets at the same time. Like Mystery was really good at this. Like if you've watched anything that Mystery's done, he will show you how to handle multiple sets, and that's kind of what you're doing here. Is you're managing multiple sets. Most guys can't do this. It's sometimes like if you look at anything that Mystery did back in the early 2000s, and you look into how he manages those sets, he'll show you ways in which you can bring one set into the other set, and so it makes them easier to manage. So if you've got two competing sets, or if you've got two separate sets, it's easier to bring those two sets together into one set, so that you can manage it. Because right now you're dealing with one guy who hates your guts because he thinks you're full of shit and he's just basically given up. Then you've got the guy who's running beta game who wants to say you're insecure, blah blah blah. So you're dealing with that guy. You're dealing with the other guy who wants to get into identification game. And he wants to say, "Oh, I'm on her side." Then you've got that guy. Then you've got the two chicks that are into you. And then you've got these other girls who are giving you grief and are shit testing you. So, think about this. You're running multiple game on several different people in this. And so if you look at these girls and you look at the guys as separate sets, how can you merge those sets together? How can you work it out so it becomes more manageable? Most guys never learn this, and a lot of guys aren't even teaching this anymore. It used to be back in the early 2000s that when you were out in these clubs, like most people, like when they look at pickup artistry and they see what Mystery was doing back in the day, a lot of what Mystery was doing was based on club game and like going out to clubs and like managing different sets and stuff. Today, most guys won't do that. They think of dating as like, I need to get my online game, tight. I need to find some way to get my text game tight. So they depend on these buffers rather than back in the day you were forced into the clubs and you had to go there and you had to be good live. Now guys, they don't want to learn game because they're too uncomfortable seeing people face to face. But this interaction right here sort of puts people face to face, and so you have to learn game, you have to learn the interactions, you have to learn to read the sub communications that women are giving, and then, like I said, you have the observer effect in this as well. None of these girls are afraid that they're going to see you face to face and have to actually deal with you in real time, because they're sitting in their studios or they're sitting wherever it is that they are, and they're comfortable where they are. So that is having an effect on this as well. But what I see going on right here, and if you have anything to learn for the next time you do this, remember, you don't want to get domain dependent. You don't want to be domain dependent. And when you get into a larger number of people, you're managing multiple sets.
Yes.
And this, like I said, it's exactly what Mystery used to get into. So don't be domain dependent. Learn how to deal with multiple sets, because those sets, like from one set, might be really into you and they think you're the life of the party. And then in another set, they're like, "Oh, well, your mom didn't love you enough," and you're dealing with shit tests. And so you're dealing with you're running game on different subsets here, and one set requires one thing, and another set requires another thing. So in one game, in one set, you might have to be just like you've already got social proof established. They like you, they think you're funny, they want to see what you're going to say next. In another set, you're dealing with neg hits and agree and amplify. In another set, maybe you have to use amuse mastery so that you can get the cute little blonde girl. So you're looking at different. That's why this is such a great learning tool. You're looking at different ways of simultaneously dealing with people at the same time, and that's a real test of game right there.
Oh yeah. And speaking of which, I'm actually, so what's funny is the producers of this show, they fucking love me, and I'm actually going to be on the show in 40 minutes.
Oh yeah, sure.
In 40 minutes, I'm going back live on the show again. This is the 4th day.
Okay. I'll watch and take notes.
Yeah. Shoot, text me. Tell me what to say. But I just want to say, man, thank you so much for coming on here and giving the breakdown, because I really feel like to have your blessing is meaning, and not only your blessing but also your criticism. And I think you were a very fair critic. And I think at the end of the day too, like, they straight up asked the girl, which guy do you prefer better? And she chose the 33-year-old man with sunglasses and a bathrobe, because game really does, in my opinion, game really does trump all. It really, really does. If you have razor sharp game, it's game over. You could get girls to financially take care of you until you get on your feet, that will commit themselves to you. Like, you know, if you know how to spit, chick, crack, and spike those emotions and just, you know, give them the, you know, the indignation that they seek and the whole thing, the whole 9 yards. And this took me, you know, many years to finally cultivate and master. But at the ripe age of 33, I still got it. So, guys, just so you know, real quick, I'm just going to make a little announcement. So I'm going to show you the Twitch page that I'm going to be on. If you are not familiar with Twitch, it is just, you're going to go to www.twitch.tv/Gone Doc. And I'll put it on the screen right here for you guys to see it. This is the show right here, Gone Doc, twitch.tv /Gone Doc, GONEDOC. I'm going to be going on again tonight. This will be my 4th day in a row. As like from the first day on, they've just been having me back and back and back again. So come on to this and watch me perform live. Cheer me on in the chat if you want to. Shout out to Jared as well who helped me. He's a member of the Body Language Mastery Group who helped make all these clips, and I didn't pay him or anything. He did it 100% out of his goodwill. Thank you so much, Jared. Thank you very much, Roberto, as well. I really appreciate that. Rollo, you got any final words you want to bless the audience with?
Yeah, I do. Here's the thing: is just don't be afraid to fail in this. Okay, don't be afraid to go down the lane because you still like even at your degree of mastery of this whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, I think one of the guys will. A lot of guys are going to look at this and they're going to see this breakdown and they're going to think, "Oh God, that's impossible! I could never do that, or I could never do what Jonathan's doing." You can, but you can do it by order of degrees. Just because you're good at one thing, or just because you're bad at one thing, doesn't mean you can't be good at other things. So don't think of, like, if you get shot down in flames or if you get, like, booted off the show or whatever, don't take that as a personal affront. One thing about being a guy is you have to deal with rejection a whole lot more than any woman will ever have to deal with rejection. So how you deal with that and how you learn from that will help you become better the next time that you do it. It's more important that you learn from what you're doing. That's why I was critical of you in this last little bit right here, is because you can still, even at your level, you can still learn stuff. And you can, like, you might go down in flames in this next half hour here.
Yeah.
So just remember those things, and then come away with that. Think about them critically. Take notes if you have to, and then use those for the next time so that you know what you're doing. Like, so when a girl says, "Oh, your mommy said this," or have something ready for that, because you're gonna get that. Especially in this, you're dealing with women who are way younger than you, and they're very juvenile, so they're at a maturity level that is above their own. Use that to your advantage. Use your amused mastery to an advantage. Use your agree and amplify to an advantage. So keep those things in the back of your pocket, but always know that there's something else for you to learn, and it's okay to fail as long as you learn from that failure. Also, go check out my book. It's therationalmale.com, and you can find me on my blog, rationalmale.com.
Yes, go check him out. His book, he has a series of books, 100% good stuff. I mean, he's the godfather of Manosphere. He has a book called The Rational Male. It is available on Amazon.com. It is also available in audiobook form on audible.com. Also, go to his website where he produces tons of free content, which is Rational. Is it Rational Male or TheRationalMale.com?
TheRationalMale.com.
TheRationalMale.com. That is the channel. Guys, I'm going to be going live on the show. If you want to support, again, you want to support me in the chat, come through. I'm going to have to cancel the webinar for the Body Language Mastery, guys, but we could follow up tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That being said, Rollo, thank you so much, and thanks to everybody for watching. Rollo, I'm going to let you go here.
Sure.
But thank you so much. I'll hit you up in the DMs. Peace out.
Okay, thanks, man. Bye.
Guys, and thank you guys all for watching. Sorry about the world's most technologically advanced setup here. I thought I was going to have one thing, and really, guys, you know what it is? I'm not going to lie, because I've been saying it for years. Like, I'm not going to do Infields because they could be so easily faked, but I wasn't really expecting to get this level of attention and success at the rate that it's been happening, and I just can't technologically keep up with it. Not an excuse, but you know, I am going to increase the production value. Just please bear with me. Thank you so much. It is Adam. It is not on YouTube. It is on Twitch.tv. twitch.tv, www.twitch.tv/GoneDoc. I'll be on the show today for sure. I'm fired up. You guys motivate me. I'm gonna take a little break. I'm gonna go lay down and just kind of recharge. I just did 2 hours here. And then I'm going to go live on there. And then for the body language mastery guys and all, you guys get the exclusive breakdown with me in the webinars after. We'll talk about everything in the show. If you guys want to, if you know how to clip things on Twitch as well, if you can clip it and email it to me, thank you guys all as well for all the guys who do that. Jared, you're the fucking man, bro. I fucking love you. Chad House 2019, Chad House 2020, Chad House 2021. It's going to be the best fucking 2-3 years of your life, man. Also, just for you guys, the body language mastery, I'll give you guys the primary breakdown. If the content is good enough tonight, we'll just do an immediate breakdown on tomorrow's show. If not, I'll just go back to regular programming. But it seems that everybody seemed to like it. If you like today's show and you do want to see more of this, can you just give me a 1 in the chat so I can just kind of see how many people? We got 100 people, 100 plus people here. If you could just press number 1, hit enter in the chat. I just want to see how many 1s come in to know, should I continue doing this? Because it is a lot of work to go on these shows and sit there and stream for 5, 6, 7 hours at a time. But if you guys can really learn from it and you guys can internalize value from it, I'll keep doing it. I'll 100% keep doing it. If not, then, it is, I got a lot of guys saying best episode I've ever seen. HotDudeLife, great show. Great content, man. I think Twitch will be worth the lost webinar. Jank show, awesome advice. Insane John, maybe the best show. And now just 1. One's in the chat. Okay. All right, man. So that's it. I'll just keep doing it. So thank you guys so much. Go, please make an account on Twitch. Go to just make an account. It takes like 2 seconds, and then support me in the chat. I'm gonna be myself because I got this shit all figured out. And until then, I'll see you guys on twitch.tv/GoneDoc. And then we will take it to the show tomorrow, Tuesday, here, 9 a.m. Until then, I thank you guys so much for tuning in. You guys have a wonderful day. I'll see you on Twitch, and I'll see you in the webinars for the body language mastery students from quarter 1 and quarter 2. Until then, peace out.